Okay, so when the campaign is on, your campaign page will change. All the work you've done so far is just to be ready for day one. But after day one, immediately you will need to start making changes to your page. And what are the reasons? First of all, you will get some community feedback if something is unclear, if they are requesting something. So you might want to make some adjustments there. This is very, very common because what is clear in your mind might not be completely obvious for people that are reading the campaign, especially if you haven't received too much feedback before launching. You might have new coverage once the campaign is on, new interviews, new podcasts, some actual play, something that you want to show to people. Immediately you might start to have stretch and social goals unlock, and so you want to reflect that to show that hey, things are progressing really fast, that we unlocked already all this stuff, and because it's worth showing stretch goals in small blocks, you might have to add the new ones and show that the previous one have been unlocked. Then maybe you want to introduce some new tiers because people asked, hey, why I can't buy a package that has all these things together, and maybe it's something you haven't thought about but makes sense because maybe you unlocked something new, or it's simply something you didn't think about before. So this is rare. I don't suggest doing it too much, but I think it might happen. Or simply you could have a new content that you create and you want to display on the page. This is very common. For example, I realized during our last campaign that maybe there wasn't a very good video giving an overview of the system of the game. So while the campaign was on, I recorded that video so we could put it on the page, and every time somebody asked details about the system, I would have a very long video explaining all the minutiae. And the last reason would be that you want to signal some achievement if you're being featured in Forbes or someplace like that, or urgency because maybe it's the last 48 hours, so you want people to know that they need to back now. Let's check a bit let's go deep into some of these categories. So community feedback. As I mentioned, you might have to clarify the copy, add the new information that you kind of took for granted, and it turns out people don't understand. You might want to add answers to the FAQ. As I mentioned, you should prepare something in advance, but it's better if you collect some questions and then answer to all these questions at once. I actually, for our previous campaign, what we did is we asked explicitly, hey, send us your questions because we're putting together an FAQ video, an answer question and answer video. And people actually sent really interesting questions, and it was kind of fun to make the video with the answers. You might want to introduce something the community has requested. It could be a new add-on, it could be something else, some challenge, it could be whatever they suggest, because people are very creative, and when you start to have hundreds of them there, that's a lot of brains that can contribute to the campaign in a positive way. New coverage. Well, the cases here are pretty obvious. Somebody has interviewed you, someone published a preview about your project that didn't make it in time for the day one, or any other feature of the game that maybe was already done but you kept in the fridge, let's say, just so you could add content bit by bit during the campaign, because it can be very overwhelming to have everything there on day one, and it might be a better idea to keep something hidden until maybe there's a bit more quiet moment. Then, of course, the good thing, if the campaign is going well, is that you're gonna unlock stretch goals. As I suggested before, it is more beneficial for you to have smaller stretch goals more frequently. People get really excited about even small things that get unlocked often. Here's on the side you can see what I had on the top of the page, this wasn't the list of stretch goals because you need more details there. But the first thing people would see coming, new people would see coming to the page would be how many stretch goals have been unlocked, and this is a very impressive number. So it is bound to catch attention of new potential backers. Of course, what you want to communicate is that you're reaching and unlocking these stretch goals, you're reaching and unlocking your social goals, and that's pretty much it. Then we have new tiers. The use cases here are you're introducing one by popular demand, something that you haven't considered before, or maybe you unlock something new that makes sense in a bundle that you didn't have before, so now you created that. And yeah, as I mentioned, you have introduced a new tier that reflects something that has been unlocked in stretch goals. And a last option would be that you're introducing a new tier as a flash offer. For example, in our first campaign, some people asked, hey, I want to buy this with a friend. Can we share the shipping expenses? So I created some kind of double bundle where you would be able to buy more copies of the same stuff in the same package. I kind of moved away from that a bit because you can handle this without a tier, and I think it's good to keep the number of tiers limited. You can simply handle it with add-ons. It's fairly easy. You can say just buy the base tier and then add copies of whatever you want. They're gonna go in the same package, and somewhat you're gonna save on shipping expenses. When it comes to content you create, for example, as I mentioned before, you're recording a new video to analyze something specific about your game, or maybe it didn't make it for day one, but now you have a demo that people can check out. They can print something, or maybe it's an updated version of the quick start you had out for a while, or maybe just a quick start you didn't have before. But I wouldn't recommend not to have anything before the campaign is ready. Any other campaign related extra that wasn't there from the beginning, you can add. For example, I saw campaigns adding, hey, if you come to the page now, you can download this adventure for free. You can download this extra mission for free. So that's something that also you can add to the page later on. And you might realize that, hey, now it's a really good time to open a Discord server. I would recommend that you have it open before, because you need the community there to help you with a new project. But there might be something that you haven't thought about before, or you didn't have time for, and people are demanding it. Like, hey, we want a Reddit group to discuss this game. So maybe that's something that you open during the campaign. In general, I would recommend to take care of social channels either before or after the campaign. There might be some new things that you introduce to support the game afterwards. Doing it during the campaign, it's adding a lot of work, unnecessary work, to probably something that is already quite demanding, but that's something you can do. And the last thing is that, you can somewhat signal achievements or urgency. On the side, you can see some kind of art that this was used for Instagram. Actually, it wasn't used in the campaign, but while the campaign was going on, we posted these pictures like, hey, today we are 684% funded, just to show people, hey, this is going well, maybe you should take a look. You can use these on social media, but also you can put them on the campaign page, just because when people see those numbers, they tend to pay attention. It's like, okay, why is this so interesting? So maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I should check it out a bit better. So you can do this for, of course, if you're burning through stretch goals, as we saw before. If the campaign reached some kind of milestone, for example, 1,000% funded, or if the campaign is about to end, you can put like, hey, last 24 hours, right?